Welcome to Spirit Medium Laura Mediumship and Messages. Here you can enjoy healing to happiness with exceptional, evidential, and ethical spirit communications. Spirit Medium Laura has been channeling spirit for over 30 years. She is a research medium and has featured as a top 100 psychic in America. Here is Spirit Medium Laura now.
Hi guys, how y'all doing today? Hope you're having a great day. I feel fantastic today. What a difference a week can make. Last week, I was like a nervous wreck. I don't know if any of you noticed, and if you did, please forgive me. But it was a mood that started at the beginning of the week and it continued for the end of the week. And I realized not only was Mercury retrograde, but also there was a full moon. And I really was sensitive to that. And if that sounds like a lot of hocus pocus to you, if you're more the scientifically inclined, there actually has been research done that talks about well, actually, there's a website even that has elements on the sun, literal, our physical sun, and what's going on there with magnetic fields and explosions and all kinds of things, and how it affects our psychic ability. And you know, there have been studies done about full moons, and that there's a higher incidence of like murders or something that happens around the moon. So I definitely was sensitive to it last week. I wonder if any of you were, and I hope if you're hearing this message, you might be saying, aha, no wonder I was so crazy. And as a matter of fact, a very close friend of, well, not friend, somebody who I mentored quite a bit in mediumship. She was in one of the classes I taught, and then I helped her out start a business. She died on the day after the full moon. She died on the 17th. So if that's any indication of stress in the system, perhaps perhaps it is. I don't know. I don't know the cause of her passing just yet. I'm staying tuned for that. In any event, welcome. I'm sort of bending the show's focus a little bit, or maybe, shall I say, recalibrating it, if you will, to what it really is about and what it has always really been about, which is continuity of life, and that the soul is real. Spirit world is real, the soul is real, and the readings that I do now are going to be shifting a bit, not only from the other side connections will remain, but in terms of the readings themselves, they will move away from fortune telling, which I never really did that, guys, in case you were wondering, to more of a healing kind of focus, if you will, using my psychic abilities to see perhaps what needs to be done or changed in you and your thinking and how you're going about things, maybe doing a little healing work, and then we can make some predictions. But predictions alone are disempowering to you, okay, because it takes you out of the equation of what happens to you, and you are a soul. You may think you're just like floating around, having a lot of problems, okay? But it's not like that. It's really you are an empowered individual. Okay, you are an empowered individual creating and living and being in your life 24/7. And my purpose in life is to help you understand these ideas, not only in a direct mentoring capacity, a spiritual psychic mentoring capacity, but also by doing other side connections. I help you understand that spirit is real. Spirit is real, which brings me or segues me nicely into the focus subject for today, which is about manifesting with prayer, which is the best way to manifest. A lot of people run around talking about setting intention and doing visualizations, and some people talk about lighting candles and doing all sorts of rituals. You know, those things are great. The ritual actually is a prayer. So if you're doing it in the light, you're doing it from a God-based belief system. It's really the same as going to church and lighting a candle. So it's not a bad thing. Rituals in themselves are not bad. They're prayer. And if they're done from highest vision and done in a spiritual way, they're very effective. That's why they are effective, because they're calling upon the powers that be to help you. So I wrote a little article. It's on the right sidebar of spiritmediumtv.com, or my whole website for that matter. And it has manifesting with prayer in the subject line, the subject of the article. So if you're listening to this at a future point in time, simply look for that, simply search for manifesting or prayer as one of the subjects for this article, and there you'll see it on the right. And so basically, I was working with a client yesterday, and I said to her, you know, I think I'm going to lose all of my clients. You'll never come to me again, because if you learn how to pray, you won't need me. Okay? I forgot to silence my phone, so I will do so now. Please forgive me. Well, I can't do it right now because that call has to go to voicemail. So anyway, I said to her, I guess you're not going to need me anymore if you prayed. Okay? If you just would pray, you wouldn't need me anymore. Now, of course, that's a little exaggeration. You might need to get clarified on what to pray for, or you might want me to help you pray. You might want me to help you clear some blocks, because we all need a little helping hand every now and then. So I don't mean it literally, but certainly if you did pray and prayed in a way that was constructive versus just complaining or fear-based, you would see results. And I see them constantly. So in my own example, my own life, when I was running around trying to manifest this and manifest that, notice the first 3 letters of the word manifest is man. Okay? Not a gender thing, I just mean mankind. Okay? So if you're trying to get things into your life and you're only using your ego or your human side, your personality, but you're not connecting to omnipotence, the higher dimensions, you're going to be very limited in your results. Yes, there is something about the astral plane in which we live that is highly relational in a quantum state. In other words, from a quantum physics state, matter, that's the hard stuff around us, the 3D stuff, doesn't exist until it's observed. In other words, till a person sees it a certain way, then it exists. So yes, inherent in our dimension, there is a certain part of observation or reflection that allows our reality to emerge. But if you just do it on your own, if you just try to manifest reality, physical world around you, a job, for example, I was speaking to Wendy earlier, if you're just trying to manifest using your own power, you're not going to be as effective as aligning with spiritual resources. And they're there. They're actually there for you, but they won't help you unless you ask. Okay. So I was working with a client yesterday, and I used to work with her more in a way of like, she had an expectation that I would do a fortune telling kind of thing because that's all she knew. And she's a very lovely person. But after working with her a bit, I started to take a little bit more of a risk and move her towards more of an understanding of how spirit can work with her. And so I started to give her prayer. So prayer is basically the following: I thank you, dear God, or divine power or source or infinite power, however you want to define that energy conscious matrix that has the power. I thank you, dear God, for providing me, and then fill in the blanks. Okay? You can couple that with a detailed visualization or daydream about what you want. And sometimes what you want is not soul-based, and that's why you're not getting it. Now, I know this is going to sound a little strange to you, but this is what soul abundance is all about. Okay? You have come to Earth with a plan, and you set up obstacles. You set up obstacles to attaining your heart's desire. Okay? So that when you understand this and you learn how to let go of resisting the obstacles, fighting with them. Okay, there are illusions in front of you to help strengthen you to finally accomplish what you want. But if you learn how to let go of that battle, enter the now, the power of now, as Eckhart Tolle put it, when you do that, you're going to find like things sort of flow better. Okay, you'll also be able to get more in touch with what you really want from a soul level, because shocking as it is, our ego sets up all these tantalizing ego goals for us, which are really just distractions from what the soul wants. The soul wants you to be in service from your gifts. That's what you've come here to do. So when you can tap into all these wonderful things and your life starts to take on a magical quality to it, and you enter what I call, and some others call, divine flow. I like to call it God flow, G-O-D, which means you're guided, opportunities present, and your highly energized destiny, like a magnet, unfolds. Okay? So anybody who's not getting what you want out there in listening land right now, uh, listen up to this. On my website, I now have added a page called Soul Abundance. You could take a look at that. There's some free resources. There's a book I wrote. It links to it tells you how to get the book. There's a free video on this. There's also a course on this, and of course, I do work on this. So there you go. The website for this show is spiritmediumtv.com, as I mentioned before. I'm going to very quickly go over what's there. You can actually watch a live video of me at the bottom of that page, spiritmediumtv.com. You can also be in to win a private session with me by joining the mailing list, which can be found at spiritmediumtv.com. You can also learn how to get a private session with me at a substantial discount. You can also make a donation to be seen or heard during the show. And if you didn't do it already, I probably won't be able to find it during the show. And I have another client right afterwards. So please forgive me. I would refund that donation if you made it now. It's a little late. Unless Susie B finds it. Okay. She may find you in the background there. But item 3 on Spirit Medium TV is how to make that donation so you can jump the gate, as I call it. Number 4 is how to become a certified soul psychic healer, which is the soul abundance as the first part of it. That's to help you if you want to do any kind of spiritual counseling and also for your own growth. But there are 3 other components or courses. It's a 4-month program. That's the Soul Psychic Healer Master Certification Program. More information is at spiritmediumtv.com, item 4. And item 5 is the video of me, and also I have a wonderful testimonial, which I will read to you today. It's not a long one, but I worked with Barbara yesterday, Barbara Sumner, and she put this on my calendaring software. It's a public testimonial. Some people just email me, and I don't make, I will use it, but I always hide their name or anything that's personal without getting permission. So in any event, Barbara Sumner sort of had a psychic soul abundance session with me, mentoring. There was some healing and things like that. So she says here, more than satisfied. Today, Laura helped me to see the one thing I've been afraid of that kept surfacing to wreak havoc on a relationship. She took me right to the source. Well, I didn't, guys, by the way, God did. She took me right to the source of the issue, showing me how certain experiences hacked my boundaries and tanked my self-esteem. Her words, "Move away from who did that to you," will ring in my ears until all traces of this are gone. It's funny because when I was done with that session, I was like, God, I didn't really know if it was taken well or not. But I'm glad that she was happy with that. Certainly am. And that brings me to a whole other idea, is that when you do this kind of work that I do, if any of you are light workers or what have you, or doing spiritual counseling, coaching, and so on, mediumship, you just deliver the message in the most positive way possible, or the healing or whatever it is that you're doing. And then you have to step out of the equation. It's not up to me to deliver the message that can be heard. It's up to Spirit to do that. And my job is to be the best channel of those messages and healing possible. So what we're going to do now is we're going to do a brief prayer, meditation, energy connection. Then I'm going to do a little channeling of a group message from the ones who, by the way, are behind all of this work. And I haven't been able to escape it. It's been my destiny. And I worked my whole life to make a lot of money. That's what I wanted to do. And I did. Retired early. And then guess what? That money fell away. Dissipated, disappeared, diminished. I went from lots of stuff to not much. So I prayed and was led. And I'll tell you, every time I try to change what I'm doing, Spirit gently shows me that won't work. That door closes, and this is the door I'm on. Now, I'm very happy with my work. I'm very happy with what I'm doing, but there are always other things that I would like, so I do still work on them. But now I'm working with a more God-focused kind of manifesting process, which I've already mentioned to you. So those things are coming to me now as well, other things that I've wanted, both in the monetary category as well as in personal category, love. Okay, so everyone that's listening, if you would please sit back in your respective locations, your chairs, whatever it is, lie back, sit back, uncross arms and legs, and start to breathe from your abdominal area, breathing in deeply and exhaling deeply. Allowing yourself to gently release and let go, feeling good about yourself, knowing that Spirit is with you, God is with you, helping you, guiding and leading you, and asking you to do the best with yourself as you can. If you are looking for an other side connection today, meaning talking to someone in the spirit world, please ask that they would come and join you now. Ask for those individuals you would like to speak with. Invite them in. If you're looking for a healing or a life reading of sorts, please focus on that, the ideas of what you need, and ask that you be healed and or given what you need to be successful today. While you do that, I'm going to go off and do the prayer. I will be back in a second. And now what I need you to do, on your next exhale of breath, if you would please release into your space your energy, and I will connect us. One moment, please. Whoa, there's a lot of purple in the audience. A lot of you guys are psychic. I don't know if you know that or not. Okay, so let me do a little channeling of a group message for everyone. Please, one moment. We are here. We are the ones. We have come to speak with all of you about health and happiness. Happiness is not dependent on your health, nor is it dependent on any other condition in your life. Happiness is dependent on you understanding that happiness is as happiness would be. Happiness is a state of being. It is not a state of having. Happiness is a state of knowing who you are, being that person, and living according to your innermost truth on a regular daily basis. It is not something that can be given to you, nor is it something that can be taken from you. It is something that you can give yourself, and only you can give yourself. So do not look to other people, places, things, or conditions to achieve your happiness on earth. Only look to thyself. We will give you a brief exercise to start the process of unfoldment of happiness in your day-to-day existence. We will give you that at this moment and this point in time. We will ask that you now pay attention to who you are and what you feel right at this moment. Find it in your body. Start at the head and move down physically through your form. If you find an area that feels uneasy, this is a clue as to what you need to work on at this moment and what you need to give yourself. And so we will give you a moment to move through your form. We will be silent. Okay, good. In the area that you are feeling an uneasiness, we would like you to send into it white light with the prayer and the spiritual intention to heal. Just simply say, thank you, God, for healing this in me, and send in white light to that particular location. One moment we will give you to now do that. Good. And now we ask that on a regular and continuing basis, you give yourself what you need as best you can from what you have, understanding that you are as miraculous as any one of us. It is the joining of the minds that creates the miracles. If you try to do things on your own, you will not have the same power as if you were to work with us. For aloneness does not bring power, only connection does. Namaste. Okay, very nice. Alrighty, so I'm going to go to the first person waiting for another side connection. I usually take those first. I'll try to do two at least. Hi, Jamie. How are you today?
Hi. That was great.
Oh, thank you, sweetheart. Thank you. I think it was pretty good too. You know, when you're feeling good, you and me and everybody else, things are always a lot better. Okay, so you're so what I'm getting for you, sweetheart, and if I'm not pulling through who you want, that's okay. Let's just give it a look see first, okay? See who is there for you. This is Jamie at 440. Okay. Well, I'm seeing a female figure for you at the moment. It feels more like an older generation to you.
Okay.
All right. I don't know if that's who you're wanting, but let me just see if I could develop.
That's fine. I mean,
Huh?
I'm open for anyone. I mean,
All right.
whoever has, I mean, maybe it is important for her to connect with me right now.
Maybe it is. Hold on.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I do see a woman who's got a little bit of a bigger build, if you will, not fat, but bulkier build and a strong body, okay, while she's on Earth. She's not a small person, and she also doesn't have a small personality. She's very strong. She has a lot of courage in her own life, and she had to fight a lot of obstacles to become who she was. She looks to me like an individualist. The reason I'm saying that is she's wearing a hat. It's a little bit side on the head. She's got longer hair today. She could wear her hair in many different styles. I don't really know. Looks like she's got a darker hair color in its original color, but she's just a bigger build. Would you understand this for anyone you would know that's female, please? Bigger build.
The bigger build. I believe my great grandmother was a bigger woman.
Oh wow, we're really.
I'm pretty sure she was.
Okay, she's a very.
She was big and her husband was small.
Okay, whoever this is very big. She's got she has ethnic features, if you will. She's got a wider nose, a little bit wider nose, a little bit of roundness around, okay, and fuller lips. Her skin is brown. She's also has a little bit of a feather coming out of the hat to show me something. There's something about the feather. It might be symbolic or literal. I'll tell you in a moment. But she's wearing sort of like a fedora type hat tilted on the head, and she's got darker hair underneath there, okay? It's got a wave to it. The feather means that she's an individualist, and she also might have some Indian blood in her as well. Okay, that's what the feather means. Do you understand that, honey, for the family? You have any Indian blood down the line? Could be any kind of Indian.
No, but, the funny thing about that is I was kind of daydreaming earlier, and I had this picture of this dark-haired woman in my head who had, as kind of as you described, she looked kind of like an African descent, and it looked like she almost looked like she had a hat on too.
Oh, that's really strange. Wow. So
be a guide.
Well, there she is. Well, I don't know. I mean, that's what I'm seeing. She also could have some. She could have Indian blood in her besides being African, or she could have a combination of a few things, okay? She's a very fierce personality, very strong personality, and you know her well. She comes into your dreams, not only your head, from time to time, and she's leading and guiding you right now at this time of crisis in your life where you're trying to make some big decisions. She's with you all the time. You're just now starting to see, feel, and hear her as your prayers have been to get more guidance directly. And now you're receiving more guidance directly. We, as your guides, she's part of a circle of guides that you're working with, are helping you birth your purpose on Earth, which has a lot to do with creativity and musicality, and that you will be able to achieve everything that you're wanting in your life. Don't look back, only look forward. Take the chances that you're thinking to take. Do you understand, please?
Yes.
All right.
That is amazing. Really, because I've seen this woman in my dreams. She pronounced her name as Autumn to me.
Okay.
She looks as you described, but she looks shorter to me. She appeared, I think it might be a different person, but it looked like the way that you're describing. Had wavy hair, I remember now. She had a thick nose, a wider nose. But everything is the same except she was short and stocky.
Well, it's the bigness, it's the stockiness. That's the thing. Okay.
Right.
All right. I didn't know. I don't really know if she's tall enough, but I see this wideness, and not fat though. It's a more of a impressive.
Oh.
Impressive, what do you call that, presence, if you will. And she looks stocky. Yeah, she could be stocky, because even if she's tall, she's wide, she's big. That's what I mean. So there she is, and she's giving you a message to forge forward and not to look behind, only look ahead. It seems like it's something to do with creativity for you, and or music, which is all the same. She also wants to say you're very thin right now. You're getting a little too thin for health. You need to put a little meat on your bones.
That's actually not true. Maybe in a different sense. Maybe that's like I don't know, maybe a different way, because I'm actually overweight right now, like 20 pounds overweight, more than that.
Okay.
Honestly, but it's probably in another way of like eating up life more, like, you know, taking more chances and gobbling up life and fattening myself up in that sense, because I'm definitely overweight.
All right, that's fine. Yeah, let's not take it literally then just take the words, because she shows me that, shows me narrow, like you're wasting away, and so it's figurative, not literal. And I think it has to do with your purpose. So she wants you to encourage and go forward, not to look back, but to go forward. So if you were looking for validation to go forward, she's saying, I'll give you a little more words here, that you will be supported in your choices, whatever they are. However, you have come to Earth to do the work that you seek to do, not anything else. Okay?
I just want to tell you really quick what I want to do. I want to make, this came to me one day, I was living in Arizona, this idea popped in my head very clearly. I saw everything in my mind very clearly. Making movies that are spiritually oriented about the hero's journey, about a person that has such a hard time in life, but they rise from it. That's just the short version.
Wow.
Like, you know, just on such a large scale of like literally my first, and I love this shot, I just have to share this with you. First shot of the movie is a shot of an iceberg, you know, like a helicopter going overhead and going down towards it, and then there's like, you know, it goes black, it says like iceberg is like man's mind or something like that. And then the next scene is this guy wakes up, and this guy is, you know, like neurotic and stuff, and he's got so many buried issues and that, and then he sees the counselor, and the counselor helps him through this. And through this, going through this counselor and this process of him healing, is he's writing all this stuff down, and it becomes a book. And then at the end of the movie, he's standing there at this podium with this book, and he's like, I did it, and so can you. And he actually meets his wife. I feel like I already did this. He meets his wife through writing the book. She's part of the publishing company, and he meets his wife, and then he has these kids. And, you know, at the end of the movie, he's standing on the iceberg with his arms raised, like, you know, like the circle is complete, you know, kind of thing.
Well, you have a great, so now I want to say to you, beautiful story, but somebody could steal it. So you need to do the work and not talk about it.
No, I haven't really, honestly, I haven't really told anybody about it.
Well, this is not a private stage you're on right now. There are people listening, so now it's recorded. And it's also going to YouTube and everything. But I
don't think I'm not worried about that. And, you know, other thing, too, is like people, you know, it's just different. You know, people know thing is it has to come from me. That's my destiny. It has to come from me.
There you go. There you go, sweetheart. Don't you worry. And I love the plot. You got something for everyone in that, honey. God bless, and thank you so much for sharing all that with us, honey. Okay, thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you, honey. Bye-bye. Okay, you know, you never know who's going to come in from spirit. I thought I was going to be pulling in some person he wanted to talk to, and I think that's who he thought. Okay, I'm going to Polly, who wants an Otherside connection. And hi, Polly. How are you today?
I am fine. How are you, Laura?
I'm doing great. And let's see who is.
Wonderful.
Yeah. So where are you calling from, Polly? 512. Where's that?
I am calling from Austin, Texas.
Hey, yay, Austin, Texas, a fun place. Okay. Let's.
indeed.
All right. So let's see who we've got for you. I do feel a male to you. That's in spirit. Father figure to you or someone else. In other words, if he's, I feel he's a father figure to you. Okay, that's what I'm getting. Okay, I don't know if that's who you're I don't know if that's who you're wanting to speak with, love.
Yes, yes.
All right, because that's who's coming in, and he shows me his hair's gray, steel gray, white dark undertones, but mostly on a gray, steel gray side. He's got a lot of the hair around the ear, and I don't see the top just yet, but it's got some wave to it, or it's not a real. His hair has got some body to it, I guess is what you call it, some strength to it, a little bit of a wave to it, if you will. Okay, he's a kind person, outgoing person, seems a little taller than most, easygoing temperament, very smart man, has a strong nose. It's on the straighter side of the nose, not perfectly straight, but a bit on the straighter side. And it's a bit wide, but not really wide. It's just a nice, strong nose. Handsome guy, handsome in his youth particularly, he says to me. He laughs and chuckles a little bit, which is another thing about his personality, kind of easygoing, sweet. Dressed a little casual today. Let me see what I can get about him. Okay, he is thinning, the hair is thinning on the top of his head. Strong muscular build when he was younger and fit, but as he got older, he lost a lot of muscle, became a little bit feeble, and he also became a little bit more introverted and didn't go out much. Now, I don't know if I'm being influenced because of Texas, because I'm a damn Yankee, excuse my French, and I'm from New York, so what do I know about Texas? You know what I mean? But in my mind, everybody in Texas has a horse, but you're in Austin, so please forgive me. But a lot of this stuff could be filtered through my perception. But what I get is a man who's kind, easygoing, good-natured, and loves nature, and sweet. Now, let me see what else I get. There's also flowers that he's handing you, like it looks like something to do with flowers must be significant because he's handing you some flowers that you grow. You seem to grow flowers, or you're good with flowers. Does that make any sense to you, flowers, honey? I see flowers.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
He says you grow them on your own. You grow some dainty ones. There's some pansies. I also see some roses. You love that kind of stuff, gardening and all that. He's giving you some to let you know he's. All right, because he knows what you're doing. He wants to let you know, I know what you're doing. And there's something to do with roses. There's a rose garden. I come into the rose garden often. I come sit with you when you're thinking about what to do next in the garden. It's very peaceful there, and he loves that environment for you. He's also says something about a heart. I don't know if that's just the way he loves you, or if there's something literal with the heart. Let me just explore that a moment, please. The heart is important. And growth of the heart is important, being mature and loving from a mature perspective. He says, he must have been a very wise one, honey, because he's saying there's something about love and being mature and knowing how to love. And when things come from the heart, from a mature perspective, they're better for you in particular. He says you learned how to love in a more mature way now, and that you're now reaping the harvest of all that you've sown, not only in the garden, literally, but also in your life, and that you're mature in your love. You know how to love in a mature way, and is bringing you good things now. He says when you were younger, you were a little bit rambunctious, you were a little bit wild and crazy. He says now you've settled down, and you're calling in the kind of love that you've really longed for all along. But when you were younger, you were a little bit too rough around the edges, a little too wild to have gotten immature to mature is what he's talking about. He's giving you advice, love, from the spirit realm, or acknowledgement. Now, usually, what I like to do here, Polly, is I'm supposed to be giving you things about him. The only thing I got is a slender build. Looks like he's not carrying any extra weight on him. Okay. And when he was younger, he's probably very muscular. I don't see him weak though. His body looks like sinewy and thin. Okay. Would you understand Dad's body to be on the thinner side, please? Would you remember it that way?
Yes.
All right. So there he is. He's slender. He looks like he's average in height, not huge. Would you understand that, please?
Yes.
All right. He actually has a build very similar to Paul Newman, that kind of a compact body type. Yeah. All right. And
Yeah.
and he uses Paul Newman almost like a prototype, even though Paul Newman's from the Northeast. So it's somewhat similar to him, and even the nose and everything. Good-looking man. He loves you very, very much. He appreciates the kind attention that you gave him before he transitioned. He's here now with, there's a name, Mary. And also he says Mother Mary. So I don't know what he means. Are you Christian background, please? Because he's saying Mother Mary as if there's Mother Mary with him. Do you understand that, please?
Yes, I am. And Mary is my mother, and this is my whole situation. I've got some really bad family issues going on with my mother, and I've been praying. Prayer is very strong.
Oh.
I have been calling out to them for help or direction on what's going on with Mary and her sickness. And I try to help immediate family, my mother, my sister, my nephew, and there's just some bad stuff. Black cloud over this family.
All right. Well, let's go into the. All right. Well, you see now how they've heard you, because he's using the term Mother Mary, and he's also talking about loving from a mature perspective, that you know how to love in a different way, and that you're giving the love. So now let's refine what we have so far, okay, and tie it up in a nice, neat package for you, dear Polly. So, Dad, what should she? Do you have any advice for her about what to do with Mom, Mother Mary, please? She's a good person, your mother. She deserves a lot of kindness and attention. You're giving that to her. You're feeding her at home alone, meaning I would assume he means from that you're sort of taking care of her day-to-day needs on your own. Are you sort of nursing her, Polly? Are you having to care for her, honey? Is that what he's meaning?
No, my sister is, and I don't have a relationship with my mother, and I've been trying to. She's got dementia. She's on the stages of dementia, and she doesn't know that I've been making a lot of calls, talking to doctors, because my sister doesn't have the smarts. I went to school, college, and blah blah blah, and I have been doing a lot of research, on dementia and Alzheimer's and stuff, and she's been very combative and doesn't want me, to know, the diagnosis of her stages of dementia or Alzheimer's. And it's really difficult, and I'm only trying to do the best I can for her in her better interest. And I've got a greedy nephew that's on the side that's very bad, very, very bad for her, and she just favors him. And I'm like, why are you doing this? I just, why? Why?
Well, okay. The only thing I can say.
Why is it favoritism?
Well, your father's not going to tell you that from spirit, okay? But what I would suggest, all right, I mean, don't look to him to say, oh, analyze everything on a detail level and all that. He can give you some advice about what he thinks, and I'm going to get that from him in a moment. But I also want to add that any situation, this is generic, a general message, any situation that anybody's in, you or anybody else, that is very upsetting to you, you need to go to what the opposite of that was. So what would be pleasing to you for a harmonious family union and relationship with all members of your family? So that's the prayer you should be. That's the prayer you should be doing. I thank you, dear God, for providing me loving family relationships. Loving family relationships as an example. And that will work like a miracle. Now let me go to Dad and see what he has to say. Hold on. Dad, what do you want to say about all this, love? I love you very much, my beautiful daughter. He says, don't allow any of this to upset you. Love is on its way to you from us and to everyone in a healing way. We suggest to you, not only me, but everyone here, that if you stop trying to force them to be a certain way, accept them for the way they are, through the prayers, you will understand them better, and then you will be able to communicate better with them. Let them be who they are, listen to what that is, hear what they need, and then you will be able to connect to those messages that you're getting. If you work with them and what they need and want, more than what you need and want. You will find the opening will come and that you will be able to get along with them better. That and the prayer that is be given to you will help all that opening to occur. So what we're suggesting is look for the opening and then work with it. It's like trying to ride a wave. Do you plunge forward through the wave, or do you learn how to surf the wave? We suggest you study the wave, their energy, who they are, the way they're behaving, and then work with them on achieving their goals. They will love you very much then, for they do not know any other way. The thing that you have different from them is you are very adaptable. You can see the bigger picture. They don't. They cannot see bigger picture. So that's why you have to work with them and the way they see things. That is the only way to communicate with them in their language. They don't know. They're not multilingual in the sense of understanding different ways of seeing things. We say thank you and we bless you so much for allowing us to come in. So your father's there, and this looks like an H name, like a Harvey or Harry or something that floats around the situation. Okay, Polly, I'm going to let you go.
Thank you so much, and I love them. Thank you.
Thank you, honey.
Thank you, Laura.
Thank you. Thank you, honey. Bye-bye, love. Bye-bye. Okay.
Bye-bye.
Okay, now I'm going to go to other callers, but Wendy B has a live question. I hope that she's waiting the longest. Let me just double check something here. Okay, yep, indeed, she is. Hey, Wendy. Hi, Wendy.
Hi.
How you doing?
Hi. Good morning.
Yeah.
Thank you. I'm despondent.
Oh, right. We were talking earlier. Go ahead.
Right. I was really looking forward to an interview. I was told it would be with 3 supervisors this past Monday, and then I was dressed professionally. I had my resume, and then I was waiting in the conference room, and then up walked these 2 young kids, and they were like team leads, and the woman acted very bored, and I don't know if it was just an act on her part, but I would really love to get that job, and also I had an interview on the 9th. That seemed to go fairly well, but I wouldn't be that thrilled with that workplace. I'm hoping you see solid employment for me soon that'll last several years, please.
All right. Now, I just was doing a healing on you in the background because I looked at your chakras because we talked about that earlier. And what I'm getting is that, I'm not going to do a fortune telling for you, sweetheart. I'm going to do a little deeper kind of work because I don't feel that's very empowering or helpful. And it's not really I don't even feel it's helpful to anybody. So let me just do it the way I can do it. And if you want a more fortune telling approach, there's other people probably you could call into or what have you, not to say I don't love you because I love you. And thank you for calling in. So the first thing I want to say is I'm trying to get at causes and things that can be shifted in you that will help you a lot and that will allow you to get the job you want, okay? And there's many levels I can go on, but the first thing I want to say is I feel that in the area, your self-esteem is very damaged right now. And that, of course, obviously you're not being heard, okay? And it's a communication thing. So I just did some clearing energetically on you, your self-esteem, and being able to be heard better by others, okay? And that you be understood, you be represented properly, and that people would take you seriously rather than be bored. They see you seriously. Now, that said, the only other thing I'm going to say that you can do, and then we'll go to your predictions, okay? The other thing that you can do is, I don't know if you heard me earlier talking about soul abundance. Did you hear me about that? Anything about it?
Yes, I've been listening carefully to your show.
All right. So one of the things I found very helpful, and actually it's not only me, it's everybody, because there's something called letting go and letting God. And so if you're trying to get something you want and it's not happening, let go of it. All right. I know this is going to sound a little counter weird, intuitive, but let go of trying to force it and go to the generic thing you want. So right now you really want that job. Look, I'm going to broaden it a little bit, and I'm going to give you your prayer for that. And it would be like, I thank you, God, for providing me. And then what do we put in after that? A great job with great pay that I really love, that uses my background and my skills. And one of the things I get for you that I'd like to add in is this feeling about you that it makes me feel effective. good about myself, and that pays me well. It has hours I want and all these other things that you want. So just do that prayer, and stop thinking that you have to get that one job. You ever hear that saying, if you let go and it comes back to you, it's meant for you? Well, it's very apropos right now. Let go of clinging to one thing, because when you let go, then the powers that be, spiritual resources, can come in and support you. But if you're only clinging to one thing, you can't get the thing that would be suitable for you. So vision it like this. Imagine that you have your hands filled with your arms filled with groceries, right? But you're wanting something something that's not in the bag, or it's not the groceries you want. Right now, you got some groceries, and they're not the groceries you want. You have to let go of what you don't. You have to open your arms up and receive. You have to open your arms up and receive. So that's my suggestion. Those are spiritual ideas. Now, let's go to the job thing. I'm going to try very, very hard, honey, but it's really not easy for me to see the future because all of this stuff's around you. All of this fear is around you. So I'm trying to clear you of that so I can see something. Let's see what we could get for Wendy. A lot of fear. Okay, so your question is, when will you get the job that you're going to like? Would that be a right question, honey? Or are you going to get a job that you like? Or,
Yes.
all right, let's just see. Job for Wendy.
Yes, with
Go ahead.
some longevity.
Longevity. Okay. You will very soon. You have to let go of some ideas, though, as already been stated to you. Ideas about karma and things that you're holding in your mind. These are blocking you. So I would assume from that comment, this is channeled, that was a channeled message, that you might have gotten a feeling now of that you have bad luck. Okay, so we as your guides want to clear that from you. Want you to start with a fresh attitude, a new attitude, a vibrancy. What is very useful, so the answer is yes, you will find gainly employment, but this is what they want you to do besides everything else I said. They want you to take a day or two off and go do something fun. I know that sounds odd, but a day, maybe to go to a museum or to go to a movie. You don't have money now, so maybe you can't go to a movie, or if you watch a free movie, but do something. Take one day off to do other things that are just nurturing for you, and then you're going to feel a little renewed and replenished. And we want you to think about yourself. You're not unlucky. Okay, you're just going through this phase now to learn better how to have faith. Okay, how to have faith in a higher power, and that would do it for you. They also want to say that you do love yourself. At times you're doubting yourself, but they're saying you do love yourself. You do have good self-esteem. You're a very kind person, very giving person. They want you to keep reviewing the things that make you worthy of success, worthy of love, the kindness, the charitableness of your nature, the givingness, the humaneness about you is the thing that makes you a beautiful soul, and you deserve to have love, you deserve to have a job, and you will have one soon. So I say, if you can do all these things that have been given to you, within the next week to 2 weeks, you should be finding something a little more productive in the job area. What were you going to say, honey?
Well, thank you. I have $7 for a movie.
Oh, well, do something that's free.
And
oh,
yeah, I will tomorrow probably. And that cheers me up to think that hopefully early in the month of October I'll be working, and hopefully it'll last for at least 4 years. I am an excellent call center representative in the medical insurance field.
Yay!
And I'd love to work for this company that I interviewed for on Monday, and I was worried about the hours, but I became excited and happy when they said it wasn't a 24-hour call center. I said, oh, I'm so happy. And I said I would be receptive to even starting at 11:30 in the morning, working till 8. So, I'm thinking maybe it was just a facade that young girl had. I think she has some learning to do about interviewing people. But who knows? Maybe they'll call me and give me an offer. I wish I knew why I wasn't meeting with those 3 supervisors, because I was excited about that.
Yeah. Well, I'm not going to be able to go into that now because I've got a lot of people waiting. But I want you to apply the things that have been said to you today, and this is all recorded for you to play back. All right, sweetheart? And don't worry about if they liked you, they didn't like you. Don't take things personally because it's only going to work against you to do that. I pick up that the girl actually had private problem that day. Her behavior is not to be taken personally. Okay, sweetheart?
All right. Well, thank you very, very much.
You're welcome, love. Thank you. Bye-bye. All right, let's go on. Yeah, I'm so sorry, everybody. Every call I'm coming to today seems to be a little meatier than usual. Okay, I'm going to go to Helen, who has a life question. Helen, could you please? Hi, honey. How are you?
Hello. I'm fine.
Good.
Okay, my question is, I received this offer from a job in Mississippi, and I'm not sure if it's an open door from Spirit. I'm not sure if Spirit wants me to go down there.
Okay. So give me the initials of the job of the company or just the job title. Something. I just want something to latch onto.
The job title, well, it's a little bit complicated because the hiring manager, he interviewed me to be a television news reporter, but then he wanted me as a producer. And the job, I could say the job title, the job name is like the Delta News.
All right, just leave it like that. Just leave it like that. Now the question again was, I forgot the question. We went into detail on the name. What was the question again? Will you get it or not? Or what was the question? Oh, is this for your highest good?
Okay, my question is this an open door from Spirit? Does Spirit want me to go down to the state of Mississippi?
State of Mississippi. Are you the same reporter that's called me a few times from Maryland area?
I think we spoke a few months ago.
Yeah, you were looking for, well, there was another person that called from the Maryland area, your 301, and she was a reporter, and she asked about finding a job in the reporting, in her industry, and where she should go or not go. Yeah. And I had said a few times that I saw southwest of where she was. I'm not sure if that was Tennessee, but I did say local. Now, are you in Baltimore area, honey? Where are you?
I live in Maryland.
All right. You sound a little different from her, but you do acknowledge that she did. Okay, so let's go see. Is this the job that's supposed to be for you in Mississippi? And it's not even that great a job. It doesn't pay that great. Let me see. Okay, Delta Communications. Is this good or bad for her? This is for Helen. Yeah, it's a good job for you. It's a really good foot in the door to something much bigger. You need to be willing to be very flexible at this point to find, this is a building block for bigger things to come. And what I'm getting is that you're fearful that you could move there and then find out it goes nowhere. So you really want to know if it's substantial enough to really make it worthwhile to move. Would you agree with that, please? Because I'll look at that.
Well, somewhat. I did talk to the news director, and he just walked me as a producer, and he said he wouldn't let me do any reporting of any kind.
Okay, I don't know if we're communicating well. I just asked you if you were concerned if this job would be substantial enough to justify the cost of a move. And you answered me in a way that didn't seem to relate to what I said. So let me just clarify that. Well, in other words, you're going to move down there and then you have no job, or is it a good job? That's kind of what I'm saying. So you're really asking me something a little different than I understood. What you're asking me is, even though it's not a reporter job, is it a good job for me on my path, being a producer? Is that what you're saying? Is that what you're saying to me?
Yes.
Okay. All right. All right, let me go to that. Is the producer job down there, because you're not concerned if it's a real job, it's a good job, but if it's the right step for you, if you really want to be a reporter. All right, let me see. Of course it is. Of course it is. And this will give you a lot of opportunities. It doesn't matter how you and you probably know this already, but it doesn't really matter how you enter the field. It just matters that you enter the field. And particularly in the reporting capacity, there's so much opportunity because you're the one making the show happen. Before you know it, you could be in front of the camera, particularly if there is no reporter available. So there's a lot of opportunity there for you in this particular position, and there will be other opportunities coming in if you choose not to do that. But at this point in your career, anything close to reporting would be very helpful to you to get that, get your foot in the door kind of thing. So the answer is yes. I see a lot of growth there. Literally, they're showing it to me like I can see the newsroom and I can see this and that. They're showing me a floor and they're showing me all kinds of things going on. It's dynamic and it's very exciting. And I don't think you would regret making that change right now. You should take anything that comes along, honey, and this is a good one for you. You don't need to stay as a reporter is the bottom line. And I think that's where you're a little confused. Like the opening is to be a producer, not a reporter. I want to be a reporter. It doesn't matter. It'll get you to be a reporter. So that's what the answer is. The answer is yes.
Or should I just look for jobs near my area as opposed to going down there?
Well, okay. Are you asking me if there would be a reporter job in your area or a job off not being a reporter? You're asking me if you can get a job like that, but near where you are? Is that what you're asking me?
Yeah.
All right.
As a reporter.
Yeah, let me see. Would you be able to get a job like that? Because the pain in the neck to have to move there. Yes or no, Spirit? Well, I had said initially I could see you getting something local. But I think so, but not as right. It would take about 6 more months to 8 months, and it's not going to be that great, and it's not going to be that. It feels weak. So right now, the answer is to go to Mississippi, even though it's a pain in the neck. And they're also saying, in this time of the career that you want, it's important to be very flexible and have your bags packed because you never know where you're going to be. And, you wouldn't have chosen being a reporter if you didn't like that. You're kind of adventurous. So I'm getting a yes from Mississippi, but always be flexible. And in your immediate locale, I see something opening up, but it's not going to be for a while. It's like 6 to 8 months, and it's only a shorter kind of job. Doesn't really have the depth. So I would say go there. Okay?
Okay.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you, honey. Bye-bye. All right, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take one more caller, and even though it's near the end of the show, I will take another caller, and then we will end the show, and I will be back again on, Susie made a donation. I will be back again on Monday at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. Sorry I couldn't get to everybody today. Okay. I will go to Susie, who has made a donation. Hello, Susie. How are you?
Okay, Laura, how are you?
I'm great, honey. Thanks for asking. So what can I do for you, love?
Okay, good. I'd like to see what Spirit can tell us about what's going on with Milton and if there's going to be a relationship or not.
All right. Now, again, I'm not going to do any fortune telling. Remember that? No more fortune telling. Yes. We're in a fortune telling free zone. All right, I'm just going to get you what I get on his brain. Let's see, Milton for Susie B. Hold on 1 second, love.
90 seconds.
Yeah, he wants you. There's I feel, constructive attitude, and I do feel that he does want to move forward with this, and because of his attitude, I feel he's listening to you, and they will be making some changes to come closer to you. He will be making the time, and he will be opening up the doors. So the answer is, I do see something happening there for you, love.
60 seconds.
Wonderful. He's a very, very sweet man, and I really do think that he's a good person for me.
Yeah, and don't forget to tell him that because I think he'd like that very much. He just was, his life was set up in a different way, and now he needs to kind of regroup himself. All right, he just is a little slow in that area because he was filling his time up because he didn't have anyone. But now that he thinks he might, I think he's going to make some changes. Okay?
Okay. Cool beans.
Cool beans, darling. All right, love. You have a beautiful day, and thank you so much, honey. Thank you, love. Bye-bye.
Okay, thank you.
All right. Thank you, love. Bye-bye, honey. Okay, I want to thank everybody for calling in. Again, we will do this again on Monday at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. If you would like a private session, just go to booklaura.com.
10 seconds.
And if you put radio show in the event code field, you'll get a 25% discount. Thank you all for calling. Bye-bye.
Thank you for using Blog Talk Radio. Goodbye.